Hey guys, it's a cold New England morning and I'm gonna whip up some fast biscuits for breakfast. I know this video is probably gonna tick off some Southerners. Well, I'm not sure if I'm really gonna tick off the Southerners, but I'm sure I'm gonna be a disappointment for a lot of people down south who have their own secret recipe for biscuits. Biscuits, when done right, can taste amazing. Some people guard their recipes and some people share their recipes, but there's definitely a proper way to make a biscuit, and it's usually a dough that's rolled out and cut with a biscuit cutter, and there's a special way to even do that. And then they're baked and you have your biscuits, and they're amazing with gravy or just put butter or jam on for breakfast. But this is New England, and I don't have time for that. It's early. I want to whip up some biscuits really fast, and the biscuits we're going to be making are more of a batter, and rather than cutting them with a biscuit cutter, we're going to be putting them into muffin pans. For this recipe, you can either use a 6-piece large muffin pan or a 12-piece standard muffin pan. It's going to be 1 pan of muffins, so pre-grease the pan you're going to use and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. It's literally going to take us 2 minutes to whip this up, pour the batter, and 20 minutes in the oven. We're going to start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, and I'm using my quick mayonnaise, kind of keeping with the theme of quick. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's 1-minute mayonnaise. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of salt, and if this is a little salty for you, you can always cut back. 1 cup of milk. I'm just using whole milk. And then I'm going to just mix this together until it's thoroughly blended and there aren't any individual ingredients showing, just so it's all incorporated. Once this is done, I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll move on. All right, we've got our batter all mixed up, and as you can see, it's not a runny batter. It's just very sticky and not anything that you're going to stamp out with a biscuit cutter. So let's get this scooped into our pan, and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, I'm just going to evenly fill all of our pans. And they're not going to look very full, but because of the baking soda, this is going to rise. So they're going to get bigger than you might think. And I'm just going to scoop them and make sure all of the cups are even. And when I have that done, I'll show you our finished pan. Here's our muffin pan with the biscuits filled evenly in each one. And like I said, I'm going to put them in a preheated oven at 400 degrees. Now, depending on the oven you're using, times may vary, but at 400 degrees, it should be about 20 minutes. Okay. Here's our biscuits, golden brown. Actually only took 17 minutes, so keep your eyes on these. Like I said, depending on the oven that you're using and the temperature, cook times are going to vary. For me, this batch was 17 minutes, but it's usually around 20. So let's get these onto a cooling rack and we'll have a taste. Because these were so quick and easy, I decided to make a batch of both sizes, just so you could see the different sizes. This is the standard muffin tin, and this is the large muffin tin. These are good for like breakfast sandwiches and cutting up and things like that. These are good just to have like a biscuit with gravy, with stew. I'm gonna have one of these for breakfast. I think I'm gonna use some of our homemade strawberry jelly. And whatever you don't use, you can always freeze. They freeze really well, and then they thaw, and you can use them as you normally would. But let's pick one for breakfast. I don't know if anyone else out there always goes for the ugly one first, the one that's slightly deformed or looks odd. That one's for me. You could either slice them open or just break them open like this. They're a little bit more doughy than a traditional biscuit. And I'm going to put some of our homemade strawberry jelly, or jam actually, and we'll give it a taste. They're good. They're good in a pinch. If you're in a rush and don't feel like waiting, or you're from New England and just don't like waiting for anything. That's how we are. Fast biscuits. They're a little saltier than a traditional biscuit. They're definitely less buttery than a traditional biscuit, but they're great. And from mixing the dough to taking them out of the oven, it's under a half an hour. So if you don't have a lot of time, but you want to have some breakfast, you can always scale the recipe down to half a muffin sheet or even just a couple of muffins. Scale it down, fill the empty muffin cups with water so you don't warp your pan, and cook them the same way. These things are good if you don't feel like waiting. If you like this recipe, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want a really good Southern biscuit, a traditional biscuit recipe, check out Appalachia's Homestead with Patara. She's got a great recipe. If you've got the time to make traditional biscuits, that's who I'd recommend. Check those out. In the meantime, I'm going to finish this up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.